A Nigerian mother of 9 and her cancer suffering child are currently battling deportation nightmare. This mom has lived in Canada for a few years. The saddest story is that whilst the daughter is battling cancer, let us
This is
hear.
a day this Ontario family says is the worst day of their lives.
I don't wish this on my worst enemy.
Through tears and heartbreak, trying to find the strength to pack up everything they own.
Good afternoon. The Lunch Club is the home of diaspora news. We share these stories to inform and educate our audience. Let us dive into the story. If you're seeing my face for the first time, Frank is my name. Let me know what your views are as we share the story of this Nigerian family who are facing deportation nightmare. Madam Taiwo has 9 children. 6 of the children are biological children, while she said the 3 children are children that she adopted. They have been to Canada. They came to Canada through the US. The husband, according to this woman, is a prominent politician in Nigeria. The family said that the husband's life was at risk because the husband is a prominent member of the opposition party in Nigeria. The family went to the United States. When they got to the US, that is where the wife and the wife and the children, they decide to cross the American border and went to Canada. When they going to Canada, they sought asylum. When they seek asylum from the Canadian authority, they have 9 children. They thought they have finally escaped. That yes, very soon they will start living the Canadian dream. The woman went for a hearing. When she went for a hearing, the Canadian authority looked at the case and the evidence that she presented, and they said, hang on, there is a problem. Remember, not too long ago, a Canadian court declared the main ruling party in Nigeria, the APC, and the main opposition party as terrorist organization. Therefore, anyone that comes to Canada claiming asylum, as long as you have any association with those 2 political parties and others, your account may not be plausible. The saddest story is that this woman that is facing deportation now, one of her children is battling leukemia. The child is on bed, sick bed, battling leukemia. The family are looking for someone who would donate blood, bone marrow for this child. Whilst all this is going on, the family have received deportation notice, which has caused alarm among their supporters in Canada, who felt that Canadian society that prides itself as a compassionate society, that because of this child, that the child who is not well, when she goes back to Nigeria, the chances of her receiving the kind of treatment that she will receive in Canada, in Nigeria, the chances are very slim. That the Canadian government should, on compassionate ground, consider this case, see whether this family can be granted compassion to remain in Canada on humanitarian ground. Let me know what your views are in the comment section as we dive into the story of our sister Taiwo Adeyemi, who is now facing deportation in Canada. What is your view? Is it Canadians' responsibility, Canadians' taxpayers' responsibility to pay for a Nigerian who is on their soil, who is not well, or it should be the responsibility of the individual and their government in Nigeria to take care of the bill? The sad reality is that these children who thought they have settled into Canada, adjusted to the Canadian life, the children are going to find themselves back in Nigeria. Let us hear once again from Madam Taiwo.
Own because this day is their last in Canada. They're set to be deported Sunday.
I never, ever dream this can come.
Taiwo Fayemi and her 9 children, 6 biological and 3 stepchildren, are from Nigeria, a country plagued by violence. They crossed the border from the U.S. to Canada 3 years ago seeking asylum after she says her husband was kidnapped, targeted because he's a politician for the country's opposition party.
Luckily, he managed to escape later, but because of the situation, the family who was vacationing in the United States in that time could not ever go back to their home.
Taiwo began her career in Canada as a personal support worker. Her kids started building their lives here in Fort Erie, Ontario. In that time, they say Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada rejected their refugee claim, stating there wasn't enough evidence to support they would be in danger back home. The family says they've applied to stay on humanitarian grounds, but are still being deported before their application is heard. Part of the family's claim is that one of the stepdaughters is battling leukemia in a hospital in Windsor, Ontario, and needs her family's help.
One of us has to stay, but they're not letting anybody stay to be able to donate their bone marrow for her.
IRCC has not responded to CTV News for comment. For this family, though, any response might be too little too late. Already saying goodbye to their friends that became like family, not knowing what life-threatening dangers they could face.
Everything bad. I feel so terrified.
When they have to fly back home and leave their new Canadian community behind. Kamal Karamali, CTV News, Fort Erie, Ontario.
I feel sorry for those children. What are your views about this family's situation? Do you think that the family, the Canadian authority is too harsh to deport a child who is battling leukemia cancer from bed? Do you think that some people have said that the Canadian government might have a rethink? The Canadian government is trying to sound tough given what is happening in Canada. Let me know what your views are. The sad reality is that our sister Taiwo and her 9 children, unfortunately, they will be returning back to Nigeria. As I said before, not long ago, the Canadian court challenged Nigerian PDP and the ruling party to prove that they are not linked to terrorism. The Canadian court said that the Nigerian ruling party and the main opposition party, that they are terrorists, that they terrorize Nigeria, killing innocent Nigeria during election. Therefore, any Nigerian that arrives in Canada and seek asylum, claiming to be a Nigerian politician, will not be granted. The sad reality in this case of Taiwo is that there are children involved in this case. These children will be returned back to Nigeria, unfortunately, and that is the reality. The question I'm asking is, what is your view? Do you think that the Canadian government should show compassion and have mercy because of that child who is battling cancer, or you think that it is not the responsibility of Canadian government? If you're somebody who is planning to move abroad, if you seek asylum, just make sure that whatever you say, you have the evidence to back it up. If you're saying something and you do not have the evidence to back it up, my brother and my sister, you will be returning back to your country, because asylum without any evidence to back up what you're saying is not going to work. Some people have said that for this family now, what do you think the future holds for the children who have lived in Canada? They thought they were integrated in Canada, and with these kids, they are doing well in Canada, taking part in activities, and now they are being uprooted back to Nigeria, and only God knows what the future holds for them. Let me know what your views are in the comment section about the case of our sister Taiwo Adeyemi, who is now on the way back to Nigeria. Some have said that this is why all Nigerians at home and in the diaspora must work together to condemn bad government and promote good governance. If Nigeria was good, Nigerians will not be experiencing what is happening today. Nigerians will be treated with respect and dignity anywhere they travel to. Let me know what your views are in the comment section. Should Canada have compassion, and should the